Hello, fellow seekers. Welcome to the Seeker's Path with Dr. Innes. I'm Dr. Innes, of course. I'm just sitting here by the ocean at one of my favorite places. It brings this peacefulness. Where's your happy place? Where's the place that brings you peace? The topic for today's video, this is part 3, where I'm sharing some of my hero's journey path. Last video I told you a little bit about the 3-month trip, all the big changes and getting my little trailer and the uncertainties and the unknowns. So I got back to my home in Washington April 1st of last year, 2023, and felt changed for sure. And I didn't really know what was next. I knew that I wanted to keep traveling. I could work and travel, and that was fantastic. And it brought me closer to living my life in a way that I thought would really support my alignment, my purpose, and my connection with the universe, everything. So later in April, I got together with these 2 other ladies who are business owners, entrepreneurs, and we had had this morning chat for a few years where we were helping each other focus on our visions and what's your one thing, what are your wins, what's your one thing. And occasionally we would get together for a little retreat weekend where we could do a deeper dive with each of us in creating our vision and plan for whatever the next steps were. So we had one of those at the end of April 2023. And it was really fascinating because it turned out we were all in similar places where we'd had this restlessness. And we had this restlessness, and we knew we needed big change because we were struggling in that this is great, I love lots about what's going on, but I don't feel fully in alignment with my calling. So when it was my turn and my friends were helping me, we have these big sticky notes up on the wall, and I was clear I wanted to remake my life to support my spiritual path. And if you haven't read the book, The Big Leap, I highly recommend that. It'll probably be on our book club book sometime this year. Anyway, we're talking about our values, our passions, what we thought were our zones of genius, the thing where everything comes together and we get into flow, the stuff we most love doing, and how we wanted to live our lives. And so on one of my sheets, I wasn't exactly how to do that with the confines of my current life. So we put all the possible ideas up there. Ridiculous, all the ideas. From doing the same thing to quitting my business and getting a job to selling everything. And there were probably 6 or 8 ideas on there. I wish I still had the sheet, but there were probably 6 or 8 ideas on there. And then we took each one. We didn't cross off anything because it was ridiculous or seemed crazy. We took each one and we started doing pros and cons. And we were digging into the meaning of each one and the values and what it would take and what it would mean and safety versus uncertainty and we dug into all the things. And the one that came out at the end, the the clear winner was sell my house, sell all my stuff, live in the trailer, at least for a year, quit my job, and finish the book. That was it. That was it. And at the end, it was shocking to me in a wonderful way, shocking. But there was so much peace and calmness, clarity. There was no doubt that even as crazy as that path seemed for a 60-year-old woman, the clear winner. It not just the winner. It was my calling on the next steps of my path. And I remember just being kind of in awe. And so that's what happened. Well, it's not exactly what happened. That was the plan I had. So I got my house ready. I sold my house quickly, easily. I sold all my stuff. That was a little more challenging, but I sold all my stuff. In the meantime, I had this plan to, I was going to travel a little over the summer, and then I plan to finish my work in mid-August. And I was going to take just a few weeks there to do some more traveling. And then I was going to come back and park in my friend's driveway for the last 4 months of the year. And my full-time focus would be finishing a book that has been in me for it's been wanting to come out some way for a long, long time. And in the process of selling my house, the owner of the house where I was going to park in the driveway, they decided to sell. So my plan suddenly had this big open spot question mark about the whole, last 4+ months of the year. Like, where am I gonna? I'm gonna live in my little trailer, but where am I gonna park it? So that was percolating. It was causing a little stress. When my house was ready and my stuff was gone, I came down to Oregon to visit some friends, this place on the coast that I love. That was over the 4th of July. And I stayed a week. And then, I was still working. I didn't have any place I had to go. I couldn't go back to, there wasn't any place to go back to in Washington. And my friend kept saying, why do you have to go back? Why do you have to go back there? And I would look at her kind of, how your dog does, like, kind of cockeyed a little bit. And it was sort of throwing my brain into a little bit of turmoil. And she had been including me in her friend group here. And so I was meeting these amazing people, smart, kind, creative, thoughtful, deep, spiritual in many different kinds of ways. And by the end of those 2 weeks that I was here, it's like all the breadcrumbs fell into place, including an ideal place for me to park my trailer. Actually, some friends of mine had bought a piece of property that was a little bit down the hill from their house, and it was going to be vacant for until they could decide what they wanted to do with it. Had a big driveway, and you've seen some of my videos from up there with the cats. And anyway, um, it was perfect. It was perfect, and they really wanted somebody to be there. It was good for them. It was good for me. We were helping each other, and I had a sense of community here that I had not felt in, I don't know, probably since I was in school. So, 30 years. Yeah, at least 30 years. And it felt like the natural next step. It already had kind of a feeling of home and community, which was amazing for me. So my plan changed. My plan changed, and I stayed here. Um, and then there were some more adventures later in the year, which I will talk about in the next video. But it's about the breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. Don't resist the messages of the universe. Let yourself be open to being moved and called for your highest purpose, your highest good. Okay. Uh, Subscribe to the channel. Leave me questions, comments. Love to hear your thoughts about your own following your own breadcrumbs. Okay. Remember to love yourself, act like it, share it, and that will change the world. Be well, friends.